I wouldn't recommend this for somebody I work with, but just being able to like, oh, this is why I felt so crap for so many, not the only reason why, because it's not all about genetics, but it is, I think, especially if I've spent many years feeling really like I was hypochondriac, that I just needed to toughen up, or people just wouldn't listen to me. They would just patronize me, ignore what I said, fob me off. And I was like, I'm in my early 20s, I'm in chronic pain, I'm constantly fatigued, I'm shitting myself on a daily basis, my hormones are all over the place. There, I am not fine, yet you constantly tell me I'm fine. Like, and I was just like so sick of that. So now to suddenly the other end of the scale, to just be able to really understand, oh, this is how my gut, okay, this is my genes. And it's not that there's, this is the answer to everything. Everyone needs their genetic test done. You really don't, actually. It can be helpful sometimes. But for me and the way my brain works, it really helps me to lend so much compassion to myself because I'm like, oh, you're not crazy, Kezia. This has been really hard. And often
Yeah.
when we're going through test results with clients, they do often cry, sometimes
Mhm.
just from a sense of relief, not because they're getting a diagnosis, they're not, but I'm just saying sometimes that makes so much sense for why you feel awful. Like, a
Mhm.
client recently has been through the absolute ringer with her health, fobbed off, and just so many ways that actually make me quite mad. And she's now like in her early 40s. She came to work with me and is still, we're working with her doctors and because they think there's endometriosis going on as well, but it's primarily gut issues, and there was a huge overlap there. Anyway, and we were just going through getting her gut results back, and when I just looked at them, I was like, geez, no wonder she feels awful. And she was the classic case of no inflammatory markers, so there was no irritable bowel disease going on, like, and that had come up with the stool test the doctors had done. But the chaos in her gut microbiome was so clear and so pervasive. I was like, no wonder you feel like crap. But she'd had about 15 to 20 years of people being like, it's because you're a new mom, it's because you're stressed out, it's because you're perimenopausal, it's because you're stressed, it's because you used to smoke, it's because. And she was just like, oh my goodness, so you're telling me I'm not a complete crazy person? I'm like, well, it's not really my job to tell you that, but what what I can tell is
You
that,
must be.
yeah, it's just your gut is really the garden of your gut is like a bit of a, it's the one filled with trolleys and dog crap and
Mhm.
crisp packets and just like, weeds that have taken over. And no wonder you're struggling to like grow any flowers, shall we say,
Yeah.
metaphorically, because there's there's stuff to work with and it can change. But I think it's a big, I find that very helpful for myself. But again, it's like a bit of everything, a bit of balance. If you go too into it, you could get lost for hours. And it's not always the best use of money either, strategically, like budget
Mhm.
wise. It's not always the most important thing. So, yeah,
Yeah. It's so the body is so fascinating.
it is.
It's so fascinating. And
Yeah.
I think getting some data points are definitely useful because I was um, on the borderline of being anemic. So they wanted to give me an iron infusion, and I was like, no, I don't really want that. So I'm going to try and do it through diet. So increased iron supplements, made sure I was doing the vitamin C, not having teas, any tannins around when I was taking my iron. Went back, got more blood, my iron done again, and it had dropped. And it was lower. And I was like, right, so I'm taking more iron, but I'm not absorbing it. So that's a metabolic issue. There's a problem. My body's not absorbing it. I need to look at my copper levels. I need to look at other things. And that way there's just a glaze of, I don't know what you're talking about. And you're like, just leave
Yeah.
it with me. I'll work this out. So then I went away and I did more work on my liver, doing massage on it, tapping on it, vibration before I was eating to make sure I was stimulating that properly, getting the digestive enzymes going. And then my iron started going up. And I'd actually taken the iron supplements out.
Mhm. I love that.
And I was just like, told you.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like,
think that's a great example of just that sort of like, oh, well, this is low, just take this. I have to, thinking of a lady I worked with, same, she came to me, low iron, what she was offered, she nearly got a transfusion, but she was like 1 point above what she was allowed to do. So she had just been chronically low. I think it was maybe like 15 or something, and the cutoff was maybe 14 of her, I think it was her ferritin. Anyway, and so she just tried it. She'd done what they said. She tried all the other things. She tried, but then when we started, I was like, they'd only ever checked her ferritin, they'd not looked at all the other kind of iron components to it, or a B12, or all the other things that interplay. And it was, it wasn't just like, oh, you just need to take an iron supplement and then everything will be fine. It was looking at the whole environment, the whole terrain
Mm.
of absorption, intake, getting it into the bloodstream, all of those things. And I think it's that's just that it's not how conventional medicine works. It works really well for so many things, but for some things, it's just not got the right kind of tools for. And when you really support the body often quite likes it, and it like wakes up, just like your example is. It's like, oh, okay, oh, let's absorb some iron then, sure.
Let's see what I need to do.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's just had a little bit of like witnessing and listening and love and, somebody, whatever, giving it what it needs. And then it kind of, I mean, it's maybe a bit too simplistic. It's not always how it works, but I think we could lean into that more for sure.
In my mind, I have this vision of some of the cells in my body sitting back on a sun lounger smoking a fag. Like I'm on my tea break. I'm not needed right now. And it's when you start waking them up and you're like, I need you, that then they kick in. It's just like, I don't know why I have this little mental image inside my body. I'm like, smoking a fag, I'm not doing any work. And I'm like, no, I need you to, come on, come on.
Yeah, yeah. And then you probably have other cells in the body that are like a toddler trying to help you. Let me help. Let me help. And you're like, no, 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 no. This is the most unhelpful thing you could do right now is to try and help me. Please don't help. Please. No, 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 no. I'm gonna help. Look, I'm gonna make loads of antibodies. Woo. And you're like, no. I just yeah, you need to go on this. We need to switch roles. You need to go on the sun lounger. This one, like, it's so the body is just endlessly fascinating. I'm often the same. I often think about like the give lift different bits of personalities to different parts of my bodies or different cells, because I know that like areas of sluggishness where they're on their sun lounger, and I'm like, come on. And then I have other parts like my like adrenaline production